I didn't choose this challenge just so I could run 100 kilometers or just so I could get to 100 kilos. I chose this challenge for the journey. The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the breaking point. This challenge is a test, an exam to go within myself and find exactly what it is I don't want to do and do it. When I'm running, I'm out of breath, I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm in pain. And those reasons that I hate, they're the exact reason I run. I'm not in love with running. I'm in love with the accomplishment running gives me. The awareness I pushed through that pain, did something that was hard, did something I didn't want to do, and came out victorious. That thought, that feeling, that sense of accomplishment, that right there is the birth of 100 at 100. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is NZ Rookie and welcome back to episode 2 of 100 at 100. Now, in the last episode, I went over the philosophy of how I'm going about this journey, how I'm taking on this challenge, and a few of you requested to go more in depth about the technical aspects of how I'm going to complete it. So for instance, I had a couple questions in regards to the training and in regards to the diet as well. So that is what we're going to be covering in today's video. So first things first, first thing I want to go Eva? Who is Eva? First thing I want to go over is the meat aspect. What kind of meat am I eating now? It's pretty simple. Generically, I stick to red meat, okay? It's the most nutrient dense. It's my personal favorite. Creatine's in there, plenty of protein, good way to get your fat in there as well, and it's absolutely ram-packed with nutrients. Okay, so next up, obviously, the most important thing is steak. A super good protein, reasonably high in fat as well, so you're getting some decent calories in there. For whatever reason, Countdown don't have mince. I think this is the first time I've come to the supermarket and ground beef isn't a thing. So I'm just going to detail the steak. Steak is insane for nutrients, so once again, I have a list. B12, zinc, selenium, niacin, riboflavin, iron, phosphate, B12, B3, thiamine, magnesium, potassium, the list goes on. So obviously steak has all those very important nutrients inside of it, but also equally as important is the nutrients that are left out of steak. So typically in other meats, white meats, typically chicken and pork, these animals are raised on either grains or they're corn fed or sometimes they're soy fed, and that leads to a buildup of a molecule called linoleic acid. So linoleic acid is stored in the fat of these animals. When you eat that animal, then you get linoleic acid pent up in your fat. In small dosages, it's not extremely harmful. However, I do try and avoid foods that contain high amounts of linoleic acid. Red meat being the only meat that I eat, well, with the exception of a few. No! Don't be silly, get your head out of my ass. So red meat with the exclusion of organs is the only meat I typically eat. Not to mention that animal sources also have a full amino acid profile. So vegetables, although you can get protein from vegetables, you will be missing some essential amino acids that you won't get unless you supplement. So this way, if I eat steak, I don't have to take any supplements. One interesting thing as well, actually, I'll be back. Okay, so it turns out I lied. I did find beef mince. That is great if you want more calories. Literally just has more fat in it. It also has a slightly different nutrient profile because with ground beef, you're getting lots of different parts of the cow as opposed to the steak, which is obviously just a specific part. Also, something that's interesting is dripping as well. I cook all my food in dripping. A lot of people tend to supplement with fish oils. Fish oils are usually a mixture of EPA and DHA. You don't actually need to supplement with fish oils if you eat tallow, which is rendered beef fat. So I don't supplement with any fish oils. I just cook everything I make in beef fat. Also pretty interesting, this is supposedly very good for your skin as well. So if you want, break it in half, cook with it, use the other half as a moisturizer. I'm not kidding. Give it a crack. Also, to add to mince and steak, I also eat organs, okay? So you'll notice in the list that I mentioned before, zero vegetales, right? Zero vegetables. Don't care what your mother tells you, mate. Vegetables aren't important. Provided you eat organs, okay? So the organs I eat are heart and liver. At the start of every week, I cook up one heart. It's usually a lamb heart. And then I also have a segment of about like 400, 500 grams of liver, ox liver that I cook up at the start of each week. And that lasts me the whole week. So a 500 gram heart, 500 gram bit of liver will last me the entire week. You don't need a lot, you only need a little bit just to get those vital nutrients that stuff like vegetables will provide you, like fucking, I don't know, vitamin E, vitamin K2, all that blimmin' goodness. Dairy aspect, the dairy aspect I'm pretty lenient on, okay? So I don't just go for raw dairy. If it's dairy, I eat it, cool? So the main things that I eat are milk. Okay, next up is milk. So often, I'll just come here. If I'm low on food for the day, I'll buy a whole bottle of milk. It's like 1,200 calories in a whole bottle. I always get the full fat milk, and I get Lewis Road Creamy A2. The reason I get A2 is because the difference between A1 milk, which is just normal milk, and A2 milk is the beta casein protein that they have. A2 beta casein is easier broken down by our bodies and easier absorbed. So A2 milk. Cheese. Okay, so next up is cheese. Now I've got two cheeses in front of me, both from mainland. However, one of these cheeses I do buy, one of these cheeses I don't buy. So the one that I do buy is the red tasty cheese. The reason for that is because the culture they use, or sorry, the enzyme that they use in order to make this cheese is animal rennet. For this one, it's non-animal rennet, so for that reason, I want to stick strictly animal based. I go for the red tasty cheese. Butter, yogurt, kefir. Is there anything else I eat? And I suppose, I mean, eggs aren't dairy because they come from chickens, but I eat eggs as well. Eggs, just throw that in there. Okay, so next up, egg skinos. Not really much to say. Their eggs have heaps of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, some good healthy fats. Don't be afraid of the cholesterol in eggs. Fun fact, cholesterol, dietary cholesterol, has zero effect on your serum cholesterol. So the cholesterol you measure in your body is not affected by the amount of cholesterol that you eat. However, it is affected by your saturated fat levels. I personally am of the belief that serum cholesterol is not a good indicator for things like atherosclerosis, provided you're healthy. When I say provided you're healthy, what I mean by that is you have a low fasting insulin and you're metabolically healthy. Cool, so rather than getting just a cholesterol metric and worrying that you're having, you know, too many eggs, maybe get a fasting insulin check that you're metabolically healthy, and just eat as many fucking eggs as you want. Next up, rice, okay? Rice, literally so easy to cook, solid carbohydrate, not very toxic, okay? I like to make a little bit of cream rice, okay? It's like a nice little dish I like to have for like a dessert or a breakfast, freaking trying to impress, I don't know, your grandma. It's like animal-based cream rice. Here is the recipe. Get that up, you silly bugger. Manuka honey, again, I'm not specific on the type of honey that I buy, provided it's raw honey, that's what I get. This specifically is Manuka. Manuka has its own huge plethora of health benefits, but you can get native bush honey, you can get, I think there's like cream honey, I'm looking now, multi-floral honey, yeah, look, there's all sorts you can get. This is good value, 500 grams for 11 bucks, so that would be 22 bucks a kilo. That's on special, but yes, highly recommend honey. Again, you can put that on your skin, and it's just good. It's just like a good source of natural sugar. But yes, honey, stick that on anything, legit, whether you want that in the dessert cream rice you're feeding your grandmother, or whether you have it in, I don't know, on your steak or on your girlfriend, whatever floats your boat. And then also maple syrup, once again, natural, comes from a maple tree, good sugar, good carbs, and it's delicious. Easy. Maple syrup, once again, throw that on whatever you're throwing your honey on, so you know, once again, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so currently I'm cooking up a steak for lunch. Pretty much my lunch go-to every single day: steak, rice, salt, butter, nice and simple. Fruit. What fruit am I eating? I don't actually eat a huge variety of fruit. I don't actually eat a huge variety of fruit. Okay, so I tend to generically just stick to bananas. So the reason I eat bananas is because A, they're cheap, B, they're good for you, and C, they're delicious. Okay, those are basically the three things I look for in any food. Healthy, cheap, yummy. 358 milligrams of potassium per 100 grams of banana. Everyone considers bananas a good source of potassium. There is the same amount in beef, which everyone considers is killing you. All I'm saying, beef, superfood. And it's kind of funny, no one's like, oh, beef is a great source of potassium. Whereas everyone's like, bananas is a great source, but when you actually put the two side by side, pretty much the same. The occasional apple, and then the one fruit that I absolutely hound like it's freaking candy floss, are dates, okay, camel dates. The reason I do this, and we're gonna get to this later on, is the number of calories dates have is ridiculous. Okay, next up, like I was talking about before, we have dates. Okay, these are the camel dates, $3 for a bag, so super cheap. You're looking at about 1,000 calories per bag, plenty of nutrients, plenty of fiber, plenty of potassium. The main reason I eat this again is just to get the calories in, so dates, highly recommend if you're a hard gainer and you still wanna eat healthy. Look at this. Mate, there's a real life optical illusion over there. Can anyone else see that? That is bonkies. Alright, so I'm in the middle of a pre-dinzo snackaroo. It's the cream rice date milk concoction. Delicioso. Calories and macros for that on the screen. Now obviously for mass building, diet plays a huge part. Everyone knows this. Diet, if it's not right, you're not going to make any progress. However, with that said, if your diet is in check, it's only 80% of the puzzle, okay? The other 20%, of course, is training. I have a 5-day split. I train upper 3 days a week, lower twice a week. My upper days are focusing on core compound lifts, things like bench press, dips, weighted pull-ups, and then on my leg days I'm doing something very similar for the legs. Squats, Bulgarian split squats. Also one of my upper days is like a shoulders and arms day. It's not really there for any reason other than the fact I enjoy it. The training program has to be catered towards yourself. If it's not fun, you're not going to follow it. So yeah, that is the way that I train. That's the way I'm going to continue training. Oh, Crookie Zone. Hello, Jimmy. But yeah, that's the way I'm going to continue training for the foreseeable future until I get to 100 gigaroos. Dunzo. Woo! Okay, so final meal of the day is dinner now. Looks pretty boring, right? It's pretty much the exact same thing as lunch. I personally am a creature of habit. The way I eat is easy for me. I can get myself into a routine where I cook all my food at the start of the week and then just progressively throughout the week I eat it. Cool. I enjoy eating the same stuff. I'm a person who enjoys routine. If variety is something that's a problem for you, maybe don't eat this way, but for me, I personally really enjoy it. It makes me feel good, and this is the way I like to eat. Also, to wash that down, obviously steak, rice. I have half a bottle of cow lactate to keep me going. Absolutely freaking delicious. I love milk. Obviously, it's not suitable for everyone. Some people can't handle lactose. For me, for whatever reason, I just seem to have impenetrable guts. Okay, so totals for the day are as follows. Calories, 4,345 calories, 210 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbohydrates, and 234 grams of fat. Now for most people that would seem like an absurdly high amount of fat. I suppose it is an absurdly high amount of fat, but hey, I don't fear fat. Fat's good for you. It helps with your hormone production, it helps with your energy levels, it can help with your brain function and your vision as well. Anyways, that concludes today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you in a future video very soon. Adios.